subtle bodies go undetected. Now, come on. In modern science can detect subtle bodies also. Why do you say they go undetected? Do you know the bacteria that cause infections? They are very small. You can see them only under a powerful microscope. Even worse are the viruses. Virus is much smaller than a bacterium. Bacteria has a cell and a cell structure and all that. Virus is not even a cell. It is just a protein thing. I don't know much details. So it doesn't have a cell wall, protoplasm, all those things are not there in the virus. But still it is a kind of boundary between life and non-life. That is the virus. But it acts like a bacteria. It goes and selects a cell, human cell or any other living body cell as a host, and then proliferates, it multiplies and all that. Therefore, virus is almost like a living being. And you cannot see virus even with a powerful microscope. You need an electron microscope to have an idea of the virus. So science has all these instruments available. Therefore, the statement that the subtle bodies go undetected is not correct. Did our rishis envision life forms on other galaxies? You see, the question is a bit frivolous. I can say rishis did envisage life on other galaxies, and therefore they were having some kind of a powerful insight and all that. I can claim like that. Now you cannot disprove it, nor you can prove it. Therefore such claims, one way or the other, that you cannot prove it, you cannot disprove it. If you feel like saying, giving some credit to the rishis, you can go ahead and give it. Nobody can stop it, because you cannot disprove either. As of today, no life is discovered except on earth. And the rishis' descriptions of stories of devatas, etc. were explained by many Mahatmas as part and parcel of the human life only. So that is more practical, I suppose. You want to go by that. Otherwise, you have to imagine that there is some life there. And now, whether rishis saw that life there, or they have imagined like you and I imagine, we have to guess. So just don't enter into that kind of a very nebulous or very hazy topic where you cannot make any meaningful conclusion. Could they possibly have their own scriptures? No. You want to stretch your imagination further. You are welcome to your imagination. I don't want to come in the way. So, our Puranas do talk of all that thing. One Purana says the Ramayana on earth is only 24,000 verses. Whereas there is a Ramayana in Brahmaloka which has 100,000 verses. Now, how is that? So, if Ramayana on earth has 24,000, the Ramayana in Brahmaloka cannot have same 24,000. The Brahmaloka status you have to see. Therefore, make it 1,000. So, that is what is written in the Purana. So, you are welcome to such imagination.
Swami, how did the rishis like Vishwamitra with the Gayatri mantra, how did they get those mantras in the...
Now, how did Newton? Newton is also a rishi. He saw an apple fall from the tree, and he was thinking about it deeply. The memory cannot help now, because the memory has no gravitation in it. No, because till then nobody talked of gravity and all that. So memory is not helpful. Memory is useful in certain ways, but not there. So, on seeing that, he was so absorbed in his thinking that he crossed the frontiers of memory, and he entered into a deeper intelligence. Memory is intellect. There is intellect. So, underneath the intellect, at a deeper level, there is intelligence. Intellect is personal, but intelligence is impersonal. And from that intelligence came the vision of gravity. That's why it is apaurusheya. Though it is called Newton's law of gravity, it is not the law that is created by Newton. That was only discovered by Newton, not created. Same goes with Vishwamitra's Gayatri Mantra also. He went about thinking about, visualizing about the sun god and all that. He has the knowledge of the scriptures, of course. Then he suddenly discovered that it is the same light of awareness which pervades the solar orb as well as my own heart. And he gave expression to that vision, which is the Gayatri Mantra. You see, I am trying to explain in a meaningful scientific way instead of making it a Puranic story. That is the thing, yeah. Whether this can be Atma Pindam, whether this can be done by all, yeah, you can do. It is specifically meant for a given situation. You see, a few people came to me, one or two people came to me and told me, you see, we don't have children and we are going to die and we are not going to become sannyasis or anything. So, there is this Pitru Karma. Nobody will be doing Pitru Karma for us. So, is it possible for us to do it ourselves? Like that, that question was raised. I said yes. The Shastra says so. And I know a few examples where very scholarly people, they have done their own Shraddha. It is called Atma Shraddham. Also, I have seen it myself, I have done it before taking to sannyas. I was surprised to see I knew all these methods and all that. I have studied Veda, and therefore when Shraddha Karma was going on, I knew what is all going on. And then suddenly Ashta Shraddha it is. Then I was finding what are these 8. And then I got a count of 7 and I asked the Pandit, what is the 8? 8 is yourself, that is what he said. 8 is for yourself. Oh, this is Atma Shraddha, yeah. So all sannyasis do that. And that is not sannyasa. Atma Shraddha is not sannyasa. After doing Atma Shraddha, you can go home and go to the family back. That is not sannyasa. Sannyasa is only after Viraja. Therefore, up to all, in fact, in the sannyasa kalpa, it is said, after doing Atma Shraddha, he keeps fast for one full day. One night he keeps awake and chants Gayatri, and then it is morning time, morning 6:37, time for sannyasa. He changes his mind. Before performing Viraja Homa, he changes his mind. He can go back. Atma Shraddham is not a problem. It can be done by Grihasthas also. Having done Atma Shraddha, he has not stepped out of Grihastha. He still remains in Grihastha only. He can go back. But once he has done Viraja Homa, then he may not want to go back. Now the door is shut. That is how it is described. And then I know a few Mahatmas who have done their own Shraddha and they have written in their will that nobody need perform my Shraddha, I have done it myself, like that. Therefore, I had all this thing in my mind. Then these people came and asked me. I said, yeah, you can do that. So that is how this Atma Shraddha idea came. Suppose your children are somewhere in America or Europe or Saudi Arabia or somewhere. What Shraddha they will do? They may do. Some people are doing also. They may do. They may not do it also. So why you want to, some people don't want to leave it in their hands. So also, suppose somebody wants to free the children, they need not do my Shraddha. That is another Vairagya. I don't want to burden them. Kate Kanta Kaste Putraha. Who is the son, who is the daughter, who is the father, what is all this? It is all anyway mithya. You hear it a dozen times in the Vedanta class. Therefore, I will do my own Shraddham and no son, no daughter need do it for me. So they do it and tell them, Arey bhai, you need not do anything, you live your life. They are free. Whether they do it or not, at least they are free. So all these are the considerations that are behind this ritual called Atma Shraddha. The ritual, as a ritual, is one more ritual, but the ritual has a lot of significance. It gives so much freedom to people, and it takes away a burden from their head. That is the Atma Shraddha. I am keeping this paper, I will discuss it further. Om. But one condition, Atma Shraddha must be followed by Bhandara. Without Bhandara there is no Shraddha. Yeah.